Gareth. Been here at Your IT for about three and a half, nearly 4 years now. I'm a tier 2 team leader, so I look after the service desk and the guys and everything else as well. Before Insights, there were quite a few challenges that sometimes we'd have the same ticket open multiple times, or something was fixed a while ago, but ConnectWise search isn't the best, so we used to kind of struggle. But then with Insights, essentially, we're loading into a ticket, we instantly get a list of all related tickets. We can always go and see related tickets and go to summary, so we don't even have to leave that ticket. Press the magic summary button and it will give the summary of everything that happened in that previous ticket. It's amazing. Or even in some cases, kind of going back to the search, if I know there's a specific keyword I'm looking for or a specific error that I know I've dealt with, I can actually just use that error into the search and it'll go off and find everything that's related to it. It's a fantastic bit of kit for a tech, and again, resolution times, it helps massively. Notes can tend to be a little bit messy, a bit all over the place, a little bit hard to read. So there's actually two main features here. The first one is the job notes is perfect because it lines everything up, it makes it really easy, it breaks it down, kind of what the issue is, what steps were taken and what's next. So, we instantly go in, look at the most recent note and we know exactly what's going on. But in the terms of escalations, when you've got tons and tons of notes, that summarize button, it helps wonders. So everything from our tier 3s use that button. When someone gets escalated, they hit summarize, that's it, done. But obviously the cool thing is now it auto summarizes when they first load it up. So yes, extremely powerful. But as well as that, even in the handy little ChatGPT as well, if you need a quick snippet of PowerShell or anything like that, it's always handy to kind of quickly ask it while you're inside that ticket. But as well as that, obviously I can copy whatever it gives me straight into my notes as well. So I'm not like having to go outside of that ticket, kind of do my research, come back in, then update my notes. It's all in one place and it just makes it so easy. So yeah, there's a huge benefit to it. So once Insights kind of came in, it started making actually rapidly progressing us in our workflows, kind of not just kind of on my level, I'm going to say this is a whole service desk level. The reason being is, we have texts and everything like that, obviously, but we've got to think of this from the manager's side, how they can look into tickets themselves, quick summaries, see related tickets for our dispatcher so she can see if anything is related. But obviously on the tech side, it's kind of relating to kind of what I said earlier. If we know something essentially has been done, techs would either spend that little bit of time kind of going through it, or sometimes go into our documentation platform, which is fine. But why, when you've got something right in front of you that's literally telling you, right, here's related tickets, here's past tickets closed, stuff like that. So they're instantly getting them results, not having to go hunt and search. And again, it might only be a couple of minutes here and there where that happens, but over time that's massive. In the sense of obviously changing our workflow to make sure everybody's using it, we also saw the other side of it is, quicker resolution time, quicker client responses, everything like that. So for instance, sometimes like myself, I am terrible at spelling. So being able to kind of add the function of obviously rewriting it and checking punctuation and stuff like that, it makes a huge thing for me as well, because, I've got dyslexia. So being able to put inside my ticket, be able to click one button and it's rewriting that, it saves me time as well, because I'm not having to get anybody else to quickly skim over to make sure obviously what I'm saying to the client makes sense. So yeah, it changed drastically, on a personal level, and obviously on a service desk level, just made things much easier. This is an everyday thing. It's not necessarily where there's one occasion where it's been helpful and been amazing for us. It continues to be every single day, from even suggested fixes and stuff like that. It might be something that happened a year ago. It's like one of them one-off fixes, can be quite hard to find if somebody hasn't documented it. Well, we just use Insights. That's it. It's saved the day. We haven't had to go research everything. We just literally gone in, searched the keyword, found that fix. Job done. So and that's an everyday life. So I can't exactly give one example of where it's been a hero, because essentially it always is. It's always helping us. I do get quite a lot of feedback from the service desk and stuff like that, because we essentially drill this into them where it's a must use. Then the cool thing is we can trace the history of who's used it and everything else, which is a fantastic feature, because if somebody says, oh yeah, I've used this for Chester to fix this, we can go look at that ticket and see if they have or haven't. But yeah, essentially we do rely on the feedback from the engineers, because at the end of the day it's the engineers who's using this every single day. And we've seen the growth of Insights over the last couple of years, kind of going, from where it was then to how, awesome it is now. And throughout this whole entire journey, the engineers massively, they love it. But I've got no way of putting it, is, it makes their life a lot simpler. It makes everything sharper, quicker. And yeah, essentially, everything runs through the feedback that we get from our engineers. The support from you guys obviously is massive as well. That's why I had to add that in there, because you give me a lot of feedback, and you get me to test things, and essentially if we've got any issues with pretty much anything you push out, we usually get same resolution really quick. So yeah, so I've got to give you guys credit for that as well. Boss. Honestly, boss. And the reason why I simply say boss is because essentially it could bully pretty much most tools, because the fact is we don't need a million tools. We've got one thing in one place and it does everything. It essentially bosses our tickets.